Hello everybody, my name is Tiffany and I'm the Tipsy Artist. Welcome. We are going live today to paint this beautiful Christmas barn. So I have it all traced out, ready to go. It does come with a traceable painting kit. All available, everything you need, all the supplies are at tipsyartist.com, so you can check that out. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So I've got lots of extra paint plates nearby. I've been painting all day, so I've got some extras nearby. But I've got my paint kit all ready to go. And so let's see here. Extra white, that's what I'm gonna start with. And then I'm also going to mix up with this Viridian, and then also some cyan blue, and then I have my white too. So, and then this is what it looks like from earlier. I've got that, a little bit of that extra that I'm going to mix in because I'm going to use that up. But let's do a little dollop of each one of these. So I've got my dollop of the primary cyan blue, and then let's do some of that Viridian too. Oops. Well, you know what? See, look what happened. It's a brand new one. Yay! So this is the foil that comes on the top too. It keeps it secure in mailing, but you do have to remember to take that off or you'll get a little frustrated. All right, so let's get a little dollop of that. All right, so I am using my Mama brush to start with. This comes with a kit. We have 3 brushes. I've got my Mama, my little buddy, and my little bit brush, but I'm gonna start with my Mama. Start by mixing up the cyan blue and the Viridian. I'm gonna mix those two together. And then get some white. And my music just stopped. Let's get that going again. Let's see. Got a sign back in here real quick. My computer has gone into screensaver. Let's just love lives. Ta-da! We're back. Yay, I have to have my music. So, all right. So I've got lots of this beautiful dark cyan blue Viridian mixed up, but now I'm gonna take all that, I'm gonna scoop it off of this plate. I'm gonna place it on my other plate that has all of that beautiful white, and we're gonna watch that come to life with lots of white. So here in just a moment, we're gonna push this in with all that white. And then that's gonna take it to our beautiful turquoise. So you can see that's changing it for sure. Now I might wanna add just a little bit of some bright yellow green. That'll push it to a little bit more of a turquoise color. Let's get some of that going on. Yeah, that lightened it up quite a bit. I like that. Hi, Rolinda. Thank you. Yeah, you just did this one. Yeah, so here we go. We're going to start to just push this into the background. I've got a little example of my paint kit over here, but I'm going to move that because I need room on my easel here. So sweeping strokes back and forth. Horizontal, and just take it all the way across. And then as I go, I just push into a little bit of that pure white and just take it all the way across. So it looks like a little bit of that abstracted cloud cover happening through the sky there. And I know I covered over that little roof ornament, but it will pop back out when the paint dries. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut in around the rest of this barn though. And then I'll tag that little black ornament at the very end. I'll come back in with black and we'll make sure and bring that back out again. Back to the front. Continue to just streak this across here. And you know, I don't want it to get too turquoise and green, so I'm going to add just a tiny little bit of a touch more of the cyan, the blue cyan, just not much, just a little bit. And I might even use that just a tiny touch of it here and there just to kind of push through the sky. So I'll just dab into that a little bit and just run that through the sky there. Yeah, that looks good. Cut a round little tree. Let's keep it light, add a little bit more white here. We want to make sure as we plan that we add a lot more of the blue and white to the sky that surrounds our tree, because our tree will be green, so we definitely want it to be pretty contrasting here. So I'll cut in and then I'll sweep that color out to the side. And just continue to work that out. Now we're going to get this other side here. Cut in here, hold the brush just like you'd hold a pencil. Sometimes this brush can get a little thick with paint too, so I'm going to go ahead and press some of that out. All right, so I've got it back to where it's nice and thin. Thank you so much. Yeah, this one is a really fun one. And hello everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody out there on Facebook and then YouTube. Welcome, welcome. And if I am not able to see your comments and answer all your questions during the event, I always go back afterwards and check everything. And I'm very thorough with my notes. So I'll give you whatever answers and links that you need in the comments. And I'll be doing that later today. I have 2 more classes I need to film today after this. So when I'm done with all that filming, then I'll go back through and look for all the questions and comments and answer anything that I need to. But I pray y'all are having a really wonderful day, getting ready for Thanksgiving, time with family, Black Friday. So let's see who I can see. Right now on the screen it's showing Casey, Kathy, Linda. Howdy, y'all. And in writing, I always come back on and say hi to everybody that I may have missed. All right, I'm going to sweep in this white just back and forth. So good. Beautiful sky. Okay, so next we will do our snow. rinsed off my brush, and then I'm going to go ahead and wipe it down here with a little rag. In your kit, you always have some napkins that come with it. All right, so I've got my white, and then I'll add just a tiny amount of black to this too. Make some gray nearby. And I think I see a question about info on these, and I'll definitely leave a link. So I have painting kits that go with every single design that I do. And they absolutely include all the supplies that you need, which is very nice. So you don't have to buy anything or try to go to the store and figure it out on your own. So we make it for beginners and super easy. All right, so I've got some light gray, and then I'm going to go ahead and line this out. And I'll touch back into a lot of pure white too as I come back through here with our snow. And then let's see, I want to make sure I got this right here. So I go underneath, there's my little snowman. We'll go ahead and leave him white for right now. And then we'll push back in with some pure white right over the top. And a little bit more of this light gray snow in here. A little bit of light gray, kind of push that in there. And then I'll touch up that tree a little bit later on. And then I want to warm up this little area here with a little bit more warmth of a cadmium yellow. I knew I had some. Here it is on a plate. Okay, so in your kit, you have a cadmium yellow that looks like this. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some more of that out. And I've got some of this from earlier, so I'm gonna go ahead and push into that a little bit and then work that into the gray that we already have from earlier. So I'll push that through. Kind of takes it to more of like a taupe color. So this was cadmium yellow with a little bit of our gray. All right. And then let's see here. We want to go ahead and mix up some of our red, our cool red for this color. So in your kit, you'll notice that you have cadmium red and then also some primary magenta. And I basically just mix both of those in equal parts, and it will bring me to this color right in through here. I'm gonna go ahead and load up with a little bit more of that. Get that going. And I'll use my mama brush again for as much of this as I can. And then when it gets to a smaller area, then I'll have to switch to my little kiddo brushes, which are these little guys, and they help me get into those smaller areas. All right, so I've got my mama brush. I'm gonna go ahead and push into this beautiful red paint. And we'll go ahead and work into all of the front side here of the barn. Just work that in. And then for the really tiny areas, I'll just kind of tap that in with the line edge of the brush. So we'll work it all the way around this wreath and then in the center of the wreath too. And let's not forget that little section right in through there. And then let's feather that out. Turn the brush handle more over to the side to feather that out into that area. I've got this little section here too. That's gonna be black in there. I've got this front. After this, we're going to do some fun Christmas green too. Just a nice classic red barn. Now you can change the coloring on this if you want to. So if you prefer a white barn, you certainly can do that. And I think it's nice to do it with a little bit of that light gray and the white. Let's continue to work this in. I see here I missed a little bit of sky. So I'm going to take my little bit brush and get that little piece of sky right there, and there, and there. Okay, yay, got it. And then this brush is becoming pretty big, so I'm going to go ahead and rinse out Mama. We're going to switch gears to our little buddy brush. So here is little buddy. Working into that same red. It's much tinier brush, nice thin lines, so you can go ahead and easily get into these smaller areas now. Just kind of feather this out. All right, lots of beautiful red. Now we're gonna do this little tower over here. Get this all filled in with that beautiful red as well. So flat line all the way on the side. And then spread it out right over the surface area. Getting to be so super tiny. I think I'm gonna need my little bit brush at this point, so I'm gonna go ahead and rinse out little buddy. And then we'll go to our little bit brush. So this is the smallest brush that we've got. We'll do a little twist into our paint, twist it out to a nice fine point, and then let's go ahead and work into these really small areas here. All the way down, and then all the way around our little snowman. All right, and we have a little bit more to do up top. I think maybe got that part. All right, so now we just need right in through here. Yeah. So all these little sections. This painting process is definitely designed for beginners. We put a lot of thought into the process and the kits to make it as easy as possible, giving you all the tools that you need with the traceable line art and your permanent marker. There's just all kinds of little details to make it super easy. I think we've got, I'm gonna look, take another peek back. I think I've got it all. Wait, little red part of the hat here. And red, oh, red scarf. Let's do that red scarf too. Of course, you could do your scarf just whatever color you wanted to. Could be green even. All right. So let's rinse out little bit brush. And speaking of green, let's go ahead and get some of that going. So I need some cadmium green. And then I'm going to have a little bit of this Viridian off to the side. Thanks for the love. Hello, everybody. Starting to see a lot more people. And again, remember, if you have any questions, please let me know. I always get to everything in writing afterwards, too. All right, so we have all these beautiful little dollops of green. And I'm going to go ahead and mix some of these together. So the Viridian kind of pushes it to more of like a pine. And the bright yellow green keeps it light and bright, helps it cover better on the canvas. And this is my little buddy brush. So I've got it loaded up. Now I'm going to kind of apply a little bit of firm pressure here. Get that line edge done on the side. Work into our little Christmas tree here. Work into all three colors. And then just take this all the way down to the base. And then I'm coming in with a little bit more of the Viridian and using the edge side of Little Buddy to help kind of feather that out. Just adds a little bit of that shadow in there. All right, and then you can kind of feather this back in right in the middle, add a little bit more a dense layer of paint right over the top, and then come back in and kind of feather that out a little bit. So I have a little bit more of that bright yellow green now. Now we're going to come in and do that cute little wreath, and then just kind of work that in. Get good solid coverage all over the top here. flat side of the brush. There we go. And then I want a little bit of some nice detail on top of our snowman, so I'm going to come back in with our little bit. Do a little twist here into the paint. And let's do a little green accent here. And green circles, and then we'll do some green mittens. And then we need to go ahead and create some of these beautiful little accents on our barn. So we need some of our warmer colors here. So I've got my cadmium yellow, my primary yellow, and then I need to grab a little bit more of my white. And then let's also mix up some more brown too. So from earlier, what I do to mix up brown is I use some of this cadmium orange. So there's our cadmium orange. And then I'll also do a touch of black with that too. So I kind of place my brush there into the black, mix that with the orange and stir that up. Okay, that's still pretty rust, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab a little bit more of this black. And now we're getting to the brown. But it didn't take much, just a little tiny touch of that. All right, so I definitely have that off to the side, and then I can lighten it up a little bit. So I'm gonna take that brown that we mixed up, add a little bit of white to it. And if you wanna warm it up a little bit, you can put some of that cadmium. So it still keeps it light, but it brings it to more of like a tan color. So I've got white, cadmium, yellow, and then the brown that we mixed up. And then our brown again was cadmium orange with the black. So I'm gonna do a little bit more white, really get that to be a light khaki color. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start to position this into the trim here. Get that going. And then we'll mix that with just little amounts of white too, so that it's just kind of a dirty, it's still white, but it's like a dirty weathered white. Because that's truly how most barns are. They're certainly outside all the time, and the really old ones have that nice patina on them from the weather. I'm kind of pull this down. Let's grab a little bit more. This is the roof line, so we'll grab a little bit more brown, place that in. And I see a little bit of that blue, that's kind of fun. That was our, let's see, what was that? That was our Viridian and our primary cyan. If you want to replicate that, if you don't have any of that still on your plate. I kind of just saw that and went, I think I'll just grab some of that. It's kind of nice. Almost kind of pulls through a little bit of a slate. Heavy on the blue, so I'm going to go back into more of the white here and that brown, and just make little dashes all the way down, just little long lines. Take that across. And now you really want to make sure this is super thin on the edge, so give some firm pressure as you press into your brush here. This is still a little buddy because you're definitely going to need that thin line for the rest of these details in here. Kind of helps tidy up any red overlay and works in that trim color. Just a light touch of it. And there's one more right in there. And peekaboo, there's another one. Then we're going to that darker brown again and do a little bit of a shadowing down here. Kind of lightly tap. And then tap out this little walkway around the edge. We're going to do this little top part here with our trim. It here too, and get more of that white, pick that up, push that into this top one. Just kind of lightly tap that white onto the top here. All right, we're going to rinse out our little buddy now. We're going to come in with some of the charcoal gray on the top part of this little structure here. Using my little bit brush, do a little twist into that paint. Maybe even a little tiny amount of water, but just moist, and makes that paint a little bit more fluid. And again, this is our dark charcoal gray that will bring in these little elements right in through here. All right, we're almost getting to the point where we're going to start our black definition over everything. And let's see. You know what? I want to make sure I get my orange with the nose. We have a little bit of the cadmium orange right on the nose. I still had some of that on this plate. So I'm going to take a little bit and dip right into that. Tiny little carrot nose there. And then I also want to take a little bit of white. This is such a super tiny amount. A little bit of white. And then we're going to mix that with some of our red that we had earlier. And it's going to be a super light pink. And we're going to make the little tiny circles, super tiny circles on his cheeks. Now with this, it's such a small amount, but you want to get enough of a little pile of it here to dip your brush into. Or the brush handle rather. So I'm going to take this brush handle and then get that end loaded up, see right there on the end, and then we'll press straight forward, and that will make little pink polka dots, and that's a really fun, easy trick for that. And speaking of polka dots, we can also do little polka dots on the wreath, so let's go ahead and do some of that. So taking the end of the brush, push down into that white paint, and we're just gonna lightly polka dot all around our little wreath here. Give it a little bit of decor. Take that all the way around. Yay, awesome. And you can do the same thing on the tree too if you want to add little bits of decor on there. I'm going to actually use the bristle side, come in with our white, and just make little tiny accents of white over the top. It's like a little light snowfall on the edges here. That's looking awesome. And then I'm going to go ahead and rinse out, and we're going to come back in with just little black details now. So I have my little bit brush and a little twist here into the black paint. And then we've got just little tiny details that we really need to work on here. So I've got the little tip top of the hat. Work on blackening that. Outline. Line work here. Get this all filled in. Nice line all the way down. My honey bear's home. Hello, baby. End of that, I'll do a nice little faint line across the snow line there. Reinforce a little bit of that. A bit of our path. Take this all the way across, light little sketch of a black line there. And a little bit there. Real light hand, very light sketches. And then there's that little doodad up there, and I'm going to just kind of lightly pounce that in. Little detail, get that little ornament in at the top of the roof there. And then this is black in here. Work that in. Light sketch in there. Getting really close. Let's firm up this little snowman. Little parentheses line to go around that little circle. And I want to soften that with some white at the very tip, very bottom. All right, so we soften that to a little bit of a gray. And then I'm going to go back to my little buddy because I've got some line edges to do. And it's going to help me a lot to have an actual line edge on a brush. So I'm going to push this into the black. Just makes it a lot easier. See, you've got that nice thin line there. And we're going to take this all the way across. And then we'll do the same thing right up above. And then down here. Little taps. And then just drag it for a few little sketches down in this area. All right. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a dry brush white over the top of this little pathway here. I'm going to take my little buddy brush and just kind of lightly kind of drag that across on the side. So holding the brush just parallel to the canvas, just kind of lightly drag that across. Okay. And then now we've got some of this optional snow you can do in the background. So your kit comes with letters that you can add at this point. You want it to completely dry, and then you can use transfer paper and lettering again to do some of that, or you can do what I'm going to do, and that's little bits of snow in the background. All right, actually I'm going to do one more little bit of black. I forgot, around my little wreath. I'm going to touch that up, and then I'll go to the snow in the sky because that's bothering me. Hold on. So a little bit here, a little bit of black, and then I'm just going to barely kind of touch in and around, almost like a little pounce of detail, just kind of lightly come in and around that little shape. Just a tiny little detail there. Just gives it a little bit of a shadow. Okay, that's better. All right. And then let's grab our little buddy. I want to make sure I've got the excess water out of it, and then we're going to go ahead and go into some white paint. Firm pressure back and forth. We'll make sure it's a nice thin line on the edge. And then we'll do like a little plus sign to begin with, a little thin, and then just kind of crisscross that out. And so you can just scatter a few of these around in your sky. It's just a fun, abstract way to do the look of snow. And we're almost done. Bit more snow right over here. And then a little sketch of black just right on top. Kind of match what we did over here. And then we'll do one more little highlight of white over the top of that. Drag that across there. Just get my mama brush real quick. Use mama. She's got a smoother touch here for this. And you won't see the brush strokes as much. All right. So we are completely done, I think, with our cute little barn and snowman. So thank you so much for joining me today. And we have the whole kit for this online at tipsyartist.com, so be sure and check that out. And then I'll check out all the comments. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll get back with you and give you lots of detailed notes and all the comments. But again, thank you so very much, and y'all have a beautiful day, and we'll see you soon.